Take another bite and pull it. There we go. Now that's anchored by. Very easy. Here we are, another weekend on the Pine Mountain Trail. I'm heading into Jenkins Springs campsite to meet up with another hiker and YouTuber, and I'll introduce you to him when I get there. And way down at the bottom here you see Jenkins Springs right there, 2.1 miles. Let's see, I got to kind of hurry up to get to the campsite. Rain is scheduled for today, so I'll have to pitch my tarp, and I've learned a couple of new knots that I might would like to demonstrate them to you. And I have a surprise at the end of the video, so hang around. Well, 1 mile into the hike, the Ghost Whisperer had to come off. My beanie had to come off. I've got this little thing to keep my ears somewhat warm. It's not that cold. Well, I think it's in the 50s, low 50s, but it's enough to cause you to break out in a sweat if you put too much layering on. So now I'm into my t-shirt, and the sweat that was already in my sleeves, I could already feel. Let me get moving again so I can heat up. Just made it to Turtle Hollow campsite, and if you've never been there, it's a nice big campsite, very roomy if it's a large group of people. But it's a 20-mile hike down to the campsite. Just kidding. But it feels like it. You're going down for maybe a quarter of a mile. But what happens is the next morning, climbing back out of that campsite to come back up to the trail, goodness gracious, you wore out before you even get to the trail. For me, that's the only drawback about Turtle Hollow. Now, Turtle Bluff is right next to it. It's up on the bluff, and you certainly don't want to be there in the wintertime. I can tell you that. It's only like a two tent campsite. Mike and I have stayed up there in the summertime. We were surprised because the horse trail comes right by there. It was amazing. We laying down in the afternoon, and all of a sudden a group of horses riders come through. Anyway, that's an interesting campsite too. But that one too, you'll be hiking up all the way back to the trail. Not good for me. Okay. Made it to Big Knot campsite. I just crossed a little bridge down there. Had sketchy water. It did have water. Here it is December the 16th, 2023. But it did have water, so that was nice to know. Next campsite will be my destination, which is Jenkins Springs. Hopefully my camping and YouTube partner will be there too. Finally made it. And I see way back over there is my camping buddy for tonight. Jenkins Springs, this is where we actually gonna come down to this little bridge and get the water. Ain't that's fabulous? Don't have to go too far. Let's see who we got here for tonight. Oh, Fred's Walkabout. How you doing, Freddie?
I'm doing great.
All right, that's good. Good to see you. Hey, Pyro Fred promised me a fire. He's got one going.
Yeah.
This our setup. He's got a bivvy and a tarp. I'm in my duplex, and I put up a tarp. It's supposed to start raining tonight about 8:30, and it's going to rain all night. So I'm going to put up a tarp, and I'm going to come here, and I'm going to put what you call a mooring hitch. And you just make a loop, get a bite, get another bite off of this. Wow. Now I have this here to pull loose in the morning, easy release. Okay, now we're going to go to the other end and do a Taut-Line hitch, okay? So we come down here, then we'll go around, we're going to go under, put 2 loops, 1, 2, dress it up a little bit, come under and put a loop on the outside. I'm going to leave a little, I'm going to leave a foot there so I can pull it loose in the morning, okay? And then we just pull it tight. See that? Just pull it tight. That's the ridge, that's the ridge line. The rest just stakes out like a regular tent. But I told you I had a little secret, because next week I won't know how to do these knots. So the secret was, I have this business card that I got from Amazon, $7. And it's business card size. It's got about a dozen useful knots. And I have to review this. In fact, I just reviewed it before I did these 2 knots and had some practice runs. They're quite easy if you can remember. Anyway, that was a secret. Wait, thanks to Fred, my cameraman, Fred's Walkabout. He's being the cameraman today. So this will conclude this week's video. Hopefully to see you next week.